All right, critics are quick to blast the cost of the mother of all bombs. Military website Deagle.com reporting that the U.S. military may have paid $314 million for 20 mother of all bombs. MOAB's putting the cost at each one around $16 million. So, all right, if we take those numbers at face value, you're talking $16 million to kill 36 dangerous ISIS fighters and obliterate an ISIS tunnel complex. Seems like a bargain to me. Brenberg, professor and chair of the program in business and finance at King's College, and Fox News contributor Deroy Murdock are with us. Look, we got a choice here, right, Deroy? I mean, you cannot do something like this, and you can allow those ISIS fighters to continue training and get bigger and stronger. They then come after us. 16 million to take out 36 seems like a deal. It's
a great bargain. It's about $445,000 per dead terrorist. And imagine if they survived and they attacked a U.S. base, or God forbid, came over here and attacked a U.S. school or shopping center. The same people are whining and moaning about the cost of this bomb would turn around and say, oh, Donald Trump didn't save us. He didn't keep us safe. Shame on him. There's no way to satisfy these people. I'm happy to see my tax dollars, our tax dollars, $445,000 to kill each terrorist. That money was spent beautifully.
And if you if you cripple ISIS in Afghanistan and it hurts them in other parts of the world, that's a bonus beyond what you've done with the 36. When you're talking about cost benefit, you can't just look at the cost, you have to look at the benefit. And the benefit here could actually be wider than Afghanistan. It could be Iran, it could be North Korea. We talk about the message sending power of this bomb. So when you're talking about cost, look, you have to also talk about what you're going to get for it.
It's an excellent point. I mean, there's sort of hidden benefits here, not so hidden. I mean, this really is sending a message to North Korea. Yeah. It's sending a message to China. It's sending a message to Vladimir Putin, to Bashar al-Assad. It is telling the world, look, we're not going to mess around. And I don't know, I mean, if you can put a cost per se, Brian, on that.
Well, no, and look, if you look at North Korea and Iran and their nuclear capabilities, this is the kind of thing that's happening underground in these bunkers. With this attack, what we're showing them is we have the will and the ability to go after these things. It doesn't mean that we're going to. It's not warmongering, but it's showing them we have the capability to deal with this threat. So you do have some message sending power. Even if that wasn't the initial intention, you do have message sending power.
And especially back to back with the attack on Syria a week ago. The world can look at this MOAB and then look at the 59 cruise missiles which landed on that airfield in Syria and say this is not the weak, soft, accommodating Barack Obama we had for 8 years.
Is that important to do? I mean, you think about businesses, right? When a new CEO comes into a company, he or she might make some big sweeping changes that sort of tell everyone, okay, this is a new kind of management. Is that part of what he's doing? I mean, if you were to think of the United States effectively having to manage the world, and we've been absent from that role for the last 8 years, is he coming in saying, okay, we're back, I'm in charge, get used to the new world order?
Well, you know, people want to jump to the message sending power of this right away, but let's actually give the president credit for a tactical move. This is the right weapon in the right place to hit this target. This is a good tactical move that can be defended on its own grounds.
It apparently didn't go all the way to him, as we just heard Blake Berman report. This is a Pentagon decision. The military made this decision. But as a good manager, you've got to empower your people to make the right decision.
This is a good thing, because I think a lot of what created the failure of Obama was micromanaging and deciding, you know, on one particular list of targets and which particular team is going to go and where. And that micromanagement, I think, really goofed things up over the last 8 years. This is a great break from what we saw even in the Persian Gulf, when the Iranian Navy came in and had our sailors literally on their knees. Awful, terrible message. This, I think, very much sends the counter message which desperately needed to be delivered.
Yeah, playing within the rules of engagement, but setting a different tone. And I think the president and his staff and his generals ought to get credit for taking that kind of action here.
Wow, it's very different, very, very different indeed. And we're not even through the first 100 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brian and Deroy, good to see you guys. All right, coming up, everyone, the U.S. dropping its most powerful